Hey guys, I'm here to give you a little review of the Eachine H7, also the Gintrude. It's also what's written on the top of here, which I think is Jin. Hopefully I'm pronouncing both those names right, but give you a little review on this. First, let's start out with the box. Plain white box. And then that's the only information on the box. There's really not much to show you there. Except they could have done a better job. This is pretty flimsy cardboard here, and it very easily damages. That got damaged in transit to me, I think. So it could cause damage to the quad. Thankfully it was on the remote control side, and the quad was fine. Comes with the remote. You'll need 2 AAA batteries for that. The quad and the guard, of course. 4 spare props, USB charger, and the instruction manual, which is actually well written. I think I only saw one typo in here when I was reading it. Or maybe it was another thing from China that I was reading. But they used a J in magic instead of an I. It might have been a different one, but it's pretty simple instruction manual. So I'll talk about the controller here first. Get the other stuff out of the way. The controller, I'm going to compare it to, pardon my reach there, compare it to the Proto X controller. As you can see, a much larger controller here. Makes it a little bit easier to work. I mean, the sticks are about the same spread, maybe a little bit different. So you can get an idea there, which is nice. Fits a lot better in the hand than the Proto X does. The thumb pads are removable, so you can put extensions on there if you're a pincher. Make it a little bit better. The on-off switch. Then you got flip, button here, and your mode right here, which is fast and slow, or F and S. And then you've got your forward and back trim here, and your left and right trim here. It definitely would have been better if they put the buttons down here. But, oh well. Definitely would have preferred that, and then had the flip button up here and the rate mode button up here. Made it a little bit easier. I always get these two confused when I'm trying to trim it out, and often end up crashing because of that. That's a little bit. As I said, 2 rates. Nice thing about this is if you press and hold the flip button for about 2 seconds, it'll start continuously beeping, and then you're in continuous flip mode. So you can just basically hold your forward, back, left, or right, and it'll flip for you continuously. And it does flip quite well. The controller is a little stiff. Mine's starting to break in a little. Makes it a little bit easier to fly. My first flight was not the best fun with this controller. The protocol for the quad is unknown of right now. Right on the forum, I think there's only one other controller that you can use with this quad, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm sorry about that. So you're kind of SOL if you want to use a hobby grade controller at this moment. And oh yeah, one other thing I forgot about the controller. When you before every flight, you always turn your quad on first, and then your controller with this one, and then before your first flight you got to go like that, and that'll bind it to the quad. So a little forward back throttle. Now on the quad itself, it comes just like this. My frame was a little warped, most likely due to heat during shipping, so I just did a hot water dip and bent it back in shape so it wouldn't interfere with the props. The prop guard does extend above the blade, so you can bounce this off the ceiling. I've done that numerous times. That definitely helps. So it does completely protect the props, unlike some of those out there that don't protect the props. Now I'll talk a little bit more. The battery compartment is down here. Sadly, the battery is soldered directly to the control board, so it's not removable. And it'd be a pain to get them out anyway with these 4 little screws, but It's not removable, and my opinion on that is so you can make these motors last as long as possible by letting them cool down while it's charging. Charging time on the included USB was about 35 minutes. And you plug it in right back here. And I'm not going to grab that, but you notice there's a little slot here. Just make sure you have the little nub on the correct end of the USB there to plug in there, otherwise it won't go in. And it does have an on and off switch here, so that is nice, just on and off. And when you charge it, make sure it is off, because if you leave it on and try to charge it, it will not charge and ruin your quad. Now, flying this little quad, actually, we'll give that a break. I want to weigh this quad first. Make sure I got my scale in the right settings here. I'm going to go in grams. Let's see, grams, yeah. I'll go in grams, because I don't want to change it. Give you a little weight on this quad, because it does seem a little hefty. Let's see. There we go, zeroed out. It weighs in between 8 and 9. So we'll round that up to 15 grams. So that's a pretty light quad. Compare that to the Proto X, which weighs in at 11.5. So definitely heavier than the Proto X, but you can see it's got the prop guard on there, and it's also a little larger. And the props are larger than what comes on the Proto X. Hopefully you can see the difference here. We'll line up these two motors. Just slightly bigger with that prop guard on. Otherwise they're pretty close, and I'd imagine the weight difference is because of the 150 milliamp battery in here compared to the 100 on the Proto X. Now, flight characteristics. This is pretty interesting. In the low rates, pirouette's okay. It could be a little bit faster. It doesn't make the tightest funnels, and it's not. Forward and back is a little slow, and side to side is a little slow, but great for beginners. And in the fast mode, it does get a little faster. Not quite as fast as the Proto X, but it is fast. Really tight funnels. Pirouette's a lot faster. This is a fun little quad to fly. I'll have a video of me flying it here. There are spare parts available for it. Eachine does sell spare parts, frames, prop guards, props. So if you do break something, you could get spare parts for it. An improvement I would suggest to the company that makes these is 2 different color props. Something different to distinguish them and help a little bit easier when you can't see the LEDs quite as nice if it's really bright. Make telling orientation a little bit easier. It does have LEDs, so I'll turn those on for you, and it does make for a nice night flyer. I did not fly at night yet, but I will one of these days. As you can see there, it's got a flashing white LED for the front, and it's green underneath in this translucent white plastic. You can see the green there, hopefully. And in the rear, it's got the blue. So at least they're different colors and easy to distinguish, I should say. Pardon the mess, but cat's had a little tornado down here, and I haven't cleaned it up yet. But this is the maiden flight of the Eachine H7. Hopefully I pronounced her name right. But this is my maiden flight. So we'll get to going. First thing you got to do is forward and back on the throttle to get it to sync. I'm in low mode. Or beginner mode. It's got 2 modes. Oh boy! Little interesting getting used to this remote. We'll show you some stuff here. Once I get a little better use of it. There's pirouettes. Well, hopefully you can see the pirouettes. And there's funnels. Well, that's full side to side. This little remote's a little difficult to get used to. We'll see if we can get it centered here. That's a flip for you. Not the fastest recovery. Takes a little bit to recover on this mode, but if you do continuously press down, you can do continuous flips. I think it's a 2-second hold. I'll explain all that in my review video. Got that little trim. Now I'll go into much faster. Got lots of obstacles to try to avoid. For night flights, this would be nice because the LEDs are really nice and bright here. I'm not going to do that for you inside. Well, maybe I will. Hold on. Or at least somewhat night flights. Let me go bring this in for a landing. And then we'll go back to the advanced mode. Went over and turned off the main switch. I still got light in here so I can see because I'm in my basement. You can see nice and bright LEDs while I do a slow pirouette here. Little difficult to see from the top, but from the bottom, no problem whatsoever. Okay, I'm back in sporty mode here. That's not full forward or reverse here. That is, and that's pretty fast. I only got a 7-foot ceiling here, so got to be careful with what I do in the basement. Flips. Whoops. Okay, after my little crash, now we're back. I'll do some pirouettes here for you and some funnels. Give you an idea. It's a little bit faster. I'm no expert quad flyer either, just so you know. There's some more funnels. Am I in advanced mode or beginner mode? I can't remember. We'll find out quick. Oh, that was beginner mode. Get back out there a little bit. Correct the drift that it picked up somewhere along the line. Oh yeah, there's pirouettes. That seems better. But it's pretty stable except for me trying to get it right to stand in the right spot. Let's get that away from me. Let me trim here. It seems to be a little bit odd. Ah, that's why I was having issues. I was pushing the wrong buttons. Much better now. Pirouettes. Nice tight funnels. Well, as tight as I can get them. There we go. Getting used to this Controller has been a little bit difficult for me, but it's a very fun quad to fly. Don't want to hit the wall. Well, there's the LVC, so I gotta bring it in for a landing here. Bring it right back to me. And voila!